Blencathra is behind me in the clouds. It took me 20 minutes to get back down to the car park. It's funny because the top's clear now. It's funny, if this had happened 3 weeks in, when everything else went wrong, I would have been fucking livid. I probably would have sold the van, set fire to it or something. Yeah, I moved the van and I've moved to the spot where I was before, where I'm not on a hookup and I get lots of light for the solar panels. And I just started kind of sorting everything out in the van, and I've noticed that about a litre of water has pissed through the roof onto my mattress. And the slightly worrying thing was I moved my laptop there for safekeeping, just for the kind of like 200-metre drive to this other spot. So there could be water stuck in the roof space somewhere, or otherwise it's just got in around the rear roof light and just sort of all came in once I moved the van. There's a what's kind of 1 centimetre little stretch of the trim where there isn't sealant, because it looks like it was probably a fiddly place to get the sealant because it's near the hinge. So I don't know whether, you know, some kind of capillary action just drew a load of water in, but I don't know. At the moment I'm at a bit of a loss. I can't really see where it came in, but yeah, I've had a lot of water come in. You know, that would have been freaking horrendous if that had happened during the night. But anyway, my mattress is absolutely soaked. I'm trying to sort of like draw the water out of it. It came in 2 places, kind of on the front edges. So, I mean, it's funny, if this had happened 3 weeks in, when everything else went wrong, I would have been fucking livid. I probably would have sold the van, set fire to it or something. But, you know, it's just, I feel as though it's just another thing I've got to sort out. But obviously I'm going to be spending a lot of time through the winter in the wet. So I'm drafting up an email to send to Highbridge Motorhomes to see what they're going to do about this. I might have to take it in somewhere else to get ejected again. I don't know. For fuck's sake. Anyway, I can't actually dry it out very well at the moment because it's raining all the time. It's about 8:15 in the evening on Thursday 26th of July. I'm leaving the Great Langdale campsite. It's definitely the right time to move on. It's been lovely kind of being on this site and getting to know the team that work here, and they've been really friendly to me. It's really helped me kind of settle into the whole van thing a little bit more. But yeah, it's quite an odd circle of emotions that I go through, really, where I arrive somewhere, I feel as though I want to get to know people and kind of fit in a bit, and then I get to a point where I feel as though I need to move on again. So it's a bit weird, but that's just me, I guess. I can't believe this. I just rang up the Joe Brown shop in Keswick to see if my book's arrived, and it has. So I've got to go through, in Ambleside. I've got to go through Ambleside to get to Keswick, to this campsite I'm moving to. I've just found out that the Lakeland 50 and 100 is on this weekend coming. Well, this weekend, like 2 days time. And it comes right past, within a quarter of a mile of the campsite. I'm just leaving. That's the problem with not having internet. You just miss stuff. I've just got to Keswick and it's taken me 4 car parks to actually find one I can fit in, and there's one the lakeside, which has got loads of big spots for camper vans in the top right hand corner, but it's like nearly £6 for 3 hours to stop here, and it means I've got to go into town and then kind of rush around to come back out again within 3 hours. I mean, it's probably £4 on a bus and I can spend the whole day in here, so I'm gonna go back to the campsite and settle in, and if there's any 4G signal there, I might spend the afternoon uploading videos. Right, I've made it to Dale Bottom campsite. It was a bit unclear about, there was an arrow to reception, but I drove the van up there. It was a little bit tight. I could see there was a farmyard to turn around in, and the farmer got a little bit upset that I'd driven my van in, because apparently someone drove into a wall in their camper van and tried to blame him. Okay, it's about 5 PM in the evening on Friday. The campsite's starting to fill up for the weekend. I've spent the day, I spent 5.5 hours in Keswick. just doing a tourist thing really. It's really interesting because of like the Moot Hall being the start and finish of the Bob Graham round. There's quite a lot of kind of of that kind of ultra running history in town. I went into the Moot Hall because it's a tourist information office. They were really helpful in there. Gave me some bus timetables and stuff like that. I went into town on the bus from here. The campsite only takes about 10 or 11 minutes. And yeah, I walked past and then straight into Needle Sports. It's a shop that I used to use for climbing gear. Oh, probably for from at least 20 years ago. Yeah, and just got chatting to them in there and ended up buying a pair. I wanted to buy a pair of kind of warm winter trousers, and I managed to get some Montaigne like winter mountaineering trousers, quite thick, durable but flexible ones for half price. They were 60 quid, and they're brilliant. Got loads of zips in them. They'll be really warm in the van in the winter. Managed to not buy too many other things, but one of the things I find in these kind of shops in these big kind of mountain based places is that they have all sorts of makes that you don't find it anywhere else. They had some kind of Italian stuff and some mammut, but I managed to get out without spending too much money. But yeah, it was lovely to go into Needle Sports. They were really helpful, and one of the ladies in there, she wrote down 4 really cool trips that I could do. There are a couple I can do from the campsite. There's the first part of the Bob Graham round goes from Keswick up over Skiddaw and then Blencathra, and I could actually do a loop from the campsite to do that. Okay, it's 6 p.m. in the evening. I fell asleep this afternoon instead of doing anything energetic. Read a bit of my new book, and I've been studying these route options I've got here. One of them is the first section of the Bob Graham round. So that's Skiddaw on the left, and that's Blencathra. So I can do, if I get the bus to Keswick, I can go up Skiddaw and down, across, and then up Blencathra, and then back towards the campsite. But anyway, I just thought I'd come out and walk the first mile or so of this start, and so I could go up here and go up that little hill and just get a feel for what's over the other side and what my options are from here. And I need to do a bit of exercise. I was going to go for a short run, but I just want to, if I'm going to do something quite big, I want to save my legs. So let's see what's up this hill. I've also moved my van. I've turned it through 90 degrees and kind of moved away from the influx of people. And within about 5 minutes of moving the van, someone moved directly into the spot I just made for myself. Such is the British summer holiday. But at least now I'm facing all these beautiful mountains instead of people getting pissed in tents. So this is the footpath that takes you to the foot of Blencathra in a couple of miles. And then this is the footpath that will take me towards Helvellyn if I decide to do it from the campsite. There's quite a few options, and if you look off quite far into the distance, you can see beyond the mountains some of the kind of lower lands. It looks quite odd after spending so much time in mountains. Classically, again, I've been out for a walk, just have a look around, feeling slightly unsure what to do, and I've just bumped into 2 really nice guys who've been walking the ridges up towards Helvellyn. They live near Preston. They've driven up for the day and they've been out for about 7 hours, and they've just been giving me loads of local tips on what to do. They reckon if I've on limited time, just go up Blencathra and Helvellyn and don't worry about Skiddaw. So yeah, it's so nice. So nice when you meet really cool people who kind of share in your aspirations. Right, I'm gonna go back and cook some food. There's an ice cream van that comes around on their site. It's a bright green painted Transit, and he said it's got 1.2 kilowatts of solar panels sort of bolted and glued to his van, and a really good setup inside, and he uses it to keep his fridge cool for keeping ice creams. Such an ingenious setup. It's really good. I saw him the other day and he looked a bit grumpy, but I stopped and had a chat with him today, and it was friendly. So I just bought a vegan ice cream, which I'm going to have after my tea. Right, been going 16 minutes. Just coming to the top of that first ridge where I head north out towards Blencathra. It's a campsite behind me, back down here. It's got a steep little track, it kind of zigzags up. Yeah, trying to get hold of my friend Matt this morning, but I know he hasn't been very well. Not getting any response, so wasn't sure whether to try and save my legs for a run tomorrow, but I think I'm going to do what I want to today and to try and catch up with him in the week or something. The weather has turned out much better than expected. It's supposed to be sunshine and showers. It was raining until about 9 this morning. It's cleared. It looks like it could kind of stay clear for some time. So I'm going to go up, try and get to the top of Blencathra. If the cloud is okay, I might get to the top. If not, I'll go up to a point before that, which is about 800 metres high, and see how it feels after that. But if my friend, I might just go straight back to the campsite, or if not, I might carry on up Skiddaw, come back down and maybe get a bus back to the campsite. But yeah, I'll just see how it works out. There are quite a few options here. I did think about initially going on the bus, then going up Skiddaw and then down and then up Blencathra, because I could then come straight back to the campsite, but too many unknowns at the moment. So yeah, as usual, the body taking a little bit of time to wake up, even though I haven't done anything for 2 days. I had a very stiff left glute this morning. Must have slept weirdly. But yeah, I've just got to go past this building here and then turn that way over here and head towards Blencathra. So this is the footpath that takes you to the foot of Blencathra in a couple of miles. I just been working my way across these fields. It's quite tricky to work out which one you're supposed to be in because there aren't many markers. You can just recognise it by the gates, and then you have to go down a little bank and climb over that. But we're heading in this direction. It's Blencathra there. Right, I'm at the top of No Crags now, which is 804 metres. Blencathra is behind me in the clouds. It's at 868 metres. Not sure whether I'm going to bother going up there because the clouds coming down. It's been raining a bit, but pretty spectacular view. I've kind of power walked the whole way up at about marathon intensity, and my legs felt really strong. And I think I'm just going to run back down again. It's about an hour and a half from the campsite to the bottom of the car park at the bottom of this climb, and you know, it's probably going to take about an hour back once I've got to the bottom of this. I don't want to knack myself out too much today. I don't really feel like it, but apparently you can see Scotland on a good day. But here you can see some cloud blowing up. Yeah, it's
pretty spectacular. I think I'm just going to hang around for a few minutes and make a decision, but I think I'm going to just run back down. The campsite is there. That's where I've come from today. It took me 20 minutes to get back down to the car park. It's funny because the top's clear now, but I don't know, you had to go down and then back up again. But I'm going to use these downhill sections as a bit of a speed workout, kind of fartlek. I'm not used to running in my kind of marathon pace, like, or 10k pace, half marathon pace. So I'm just going to try and run quite hard down the hills and just enjoy it. Right, we're down in the bottom of the valley now. We've got about a mile and a bit of this, and then up a road hill for about half a mile, and then up over this first ridge, and then it's back down to the campsite. My legs are feeling a bit beaten up after that, to be honest. I kind of ran it quite hard down, and I ran hard on the road, and I might have overcooked it a little bit. I think the rest of this, I've got 2.5 miles or something. I think it's going to have to be a gentle jog. I have questioned slightly, you know, there's this interesting sort of feeling of when you are living in a home, a fixed abode, you do spend a lot of time just relaxing and planning, and you know, it's not all adventure. And I do spend a lot of time in between the running exploits and the adventures just chilling out in the van, which is fine to a degree, but I feel as though, I think I've mentioned before, sometimes it feels as though when you're in these kind of places where there's a lot of, you know, amazing scenery around, you can feel obliged to be going out and visiting everything. And when you have a finite amount of time on a holiday for 2 weeks or a week, you tend to cram a lot into that. But, you know, it's just something that I'm constantly sort of thinking about. Should I be doing more? Should I be going out and exploring more while I'm here? But also, you know, I am living in the van, so I should, you know, I still need downtime. I still need recovery time, especially when I'm running up and down mountains. So, yeah, I just need to make sure I don't push myself too hard. That's one of my problems, is that I forget that I'm 58. Sometimes in my head, I still feel as though I'm in my 30s, my mid-30s. And that's what causes me problems sometimes, because I don't stop. I don't do enough kind of relaxation and recovery. It's now just gone 1 o'clock on Sunday. I decided to pack the van up and drove up onto a lay-by. It's literally about half a mile up the road. It's got a really good 5G signal. And sat down. I tried to see if I could book onto either of the caravan and camping club sites I belong to in Keswick, and they're both full, although one of them could do me 2 nights of non-hookup, but for nearly £29 a night, which I think is too much. It's too much. It's more money than I'm prepared to spend at the moment. The campsite just up the road from my friend's house, Matt and Beth, they want £34 a night, and the weather forecast is shit. So I ended up speaking to Matt for quite a while on the phone and caught up with him, and I just decided that it's time to move on. I'm going to move to Scotland tomorrow. That seems to be the plan that's come together. I'd like to, instead of just making a dash for Fort William and Inverness, I'd like to explore a little bit of the kind of south western corner of Scotland. It's in the Take the Slow Road, Scotland. So I booked a farm site sort of on the coast. It's about 2 hours drive from here. So yeah, I've spent the morning doing that, and then once I'd formulated that plan, I drove into Keswick, filled the van up with diesel, so I'm ready to go tomorrow. It's about a 100-mile drive. And I've filled up my water tank, emptied the loo, you know, got the van ready for a drive tomorrow to make a push up to Scotland. And I feel really good about it now. I feel as though I've got an objective. You know, I could have just hung around in the lakes for a little bit longer, but my body feels as though it needs a bit of a rest. Both of my glutes are really aching today after doing that sort of fast descent of Blencathra, or no crags anyway. And you know, I've done a lot in the last couple of weeks, and it's time for the body to have a chance to recover, I think. You know, if I was on a training plan, I would be doing an easy week, and it's probably overdue. I think I might sign up to a plan quite soon, and that will help give me a little bit more structure to some training, because I am getting a lot fitter and stronger again. So yeah, it feels good. It feels kind of shame to be leaving the Lake District, but it's just so busy at the moment. You know, it's all most of the sites are full. The ones I want to get onto are full. It's quite tricky to drive the van onto the more obscure little places, especially when there's so much traffic around. So it feels like a good time to move to somewhere that's a bit more isolated, especially, you know, while I'm, you know, probably 2 weeks away from my next contract starting. So I'm going to spend the rest of the afternoon eating a lot. I'm feeling really hungry again. I'm reading this great book about AI, so I'll probably sit down and read some more of that and just get ready for tomorrow. So not so much adventures at the moment, but more of the van life.